As you saw in the wide shot, we have someone behind a table peeking out behind the poinsettias, and that, of course, is our Scott from Metro Parks. Scott, are you making sure that all the soil is intact and all the brown leaves are picked off before we come to you next segment?
Yeah, absolutely. So far, so good.
There we go. All right. With me now is somebody who, if I had dinner with them, dinner would last for hours, because I love this person so much. They are such a joy. They have great stories. Please join me in welcoming Jake Welk, not to be confused with Lawrence. I knew you would say that. You are the marketing manager for LeMay, America's Car Museum. Thank you for being back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You always bring such great news with you, and you bring such beautiful pictures.
Thank you.
But my first question after Happy Thanksgiving is, mashed potatoes or stuffing?
So I've had some time to think.
Okay.
I'm going with mashed potatoes. I think you can't beat a good, they have to be good.
They have to be, like, so what would
Really
we have
good.
to have in them?
Okay, so I think the secret, in my opinion, is you have to do a mixture of russet and Yukon Gold.
I'm with you. I knew you were going to say that.
The Yukon Gold kind of gives it that richness.
It does,
So you have to have the right consistency, you know?
Yeah, you do. And for me, I have to throw in Amish butter.
Okay, I like that.
That's my little
That
tip
might
to
be
you.
something I try this year.
Yeah, Met Market, Amish butter. So let's talk about, last time you were here, I think the gala was right around the corner. Like, it was a
Yes.
Thursday, and the gala was the following weekend after that.
Yes.
And how did it go? Give me a recap.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, as we've talked about before, that's our big flagship fundraiser event every year. And with the help of all of our supporters in the room that night, we were actually able to raise over $1 million for the organization, which is truly incredible. And that's through everybody who's in that room that night that is there to support the museum. So we feel very grateful and very blessed to have those kinds of people that support the museum.
Goodness. I mean, when you say $1 million, we're talking, because I do fundraising, usually a nonprofit the size of LeMay, it takes a nonprofit the size of, like, the Juvenile Diabetes Association, huge nationwide things, to see millions of dollars raised, and let our own little LeMay Car Museum that could crack the nut. Way to go. Congratulations. A lot of that is on you and your team.
Thank you so much.
It is. So the new Corvette exhibit is on display. Oh, be still my heart. How is that going so far? I bet you there's lines around the building.
It's amazing. So that's kind of the other thing we've been doing since I saw you last on top of the gala is we have our new Corvette exhibit that opened up in early October. It's been really well received so far. People are raving about it. The thing about it too is it's unique, as you see from kind of some of the photos. We really focused the curation of the exhibit around more of like modifications and modified and one-off Corvettes. So you'll see a lot of kind of one-of-ones. We have one that was in the Seattle World Fair, you know, a Tim Allen Corvette race car. So we've got a lot of really interesting stuff. So definitely it's on display until March of next year, and I would recommend coming and checking it out.
I love a Corvette, and I love the movies and the pop culture that goes on
It's
with
really like
Corvettes.
the iconic American sports car, you know?
It is. So what is it like to visit America's Car Museum around the holidays? Because I'm in there when it's not the holidays.
Right.
But what am I going to see that's different?
Yeah, we do. We have it, you know, a little bit more festive. We have a big tree in the lobby that we decorate. We have some fun little like toy-sized cars. They're like the Crosley. That's kind of like a miniature car. We have the Cadillac, the Santa Cadillac,
Beautiful.
if you will. So yeah, and then the big tree in the lobby. So you know, you'll see it's a little bit different than it is the rest of the year. We have a photo car as well that we do kind of a fun snowy background on.
Yes, I love that. So America's Car Museum has always had its roots in the community. That's how we all knew when this first started. The LeMay family was a part of the inception. So what is America's Car Museum doing to celebrate the holidays? Because you give back year-round, so I imagine the holidays are pretty spectacular.
They are, you know, and as you mentioned, community engagement is so important to us, and it's something that we're always working on, trying to get out there and develop as many relationships with fellow, you know, organizations to help support them. So this year, we really focused our efforts so far for the holiday season on 2 holiday drives, a food drive and a toy drive. So the food drive is, we call it Drive Down Hunger.
I love that.
And that's a partnership with Northwest Harvest, who, their mission is to bring food sources to those in need. And then, yeah, so I'll get into that in a minute. We do a truck in the lobby that we, we have people bring in donations and we store them and then they come pick it up. So the other one we do is the toy drive with Santa's Castle out at JBLM, and so that's a toy drive. And what we do is we encourage people to come in and donate toys and books and games, and then they're given out to families at JBLM for the holidays that are having financial hardship. So those are both things that we basically act as like a host venue or location for drop-offs, and then we distribute everything to Santa's Castle and Northwest Harvest to give out to the community.
There's an unwritten rule on CityLine. You make the host cry, you're in big trouble. Well, you're
I think that's a challenge
You're
now.
tiptoeing around there. So when we talk about the Drive Down Hunger with Northwest Harvest, boy, Northwest Harvest, if you're going to partner with anybody, they are one of those organizations up there that you want to be a part of when it comes to helping drive down hunger. How did this collaboration start, and did you think of the name? Because you are brilliant.
I wish I did. This actually we've partnered with Northwest Harvest for many years. The museum's been around for 11 years now, and so we've had a long history of partnering with them and have kind of continued picking it up where we left off every year. They have an incredible team of people, and they're all so passionate and so hardworking and great attitudes, and it makes it really easy to reach out and say, hey, how can we support you guys this year? They get back to us and they're like, oh my gosh, we're so grateful. So it's really a partnership that works super well. And for us, it feels great to know that we're helping use our museum and our audience and people that come to the museum to help support that.
Absolutely. And you talked about the Santa's Castle and the toys for troops. That is so huge. As we just had Tony on the couch talking about the areas where our military families need the most help. The holidays can be a hard time, and especially if your family is in different areas, it puts the pressure on that one parent to make Christmas everything it needs to be in the eyes of our children. So Toys for Troops is right in there to help.
Right. Yeah. So again, like Northwest Harvest, Santa's Castle, just a great team of people.
Yes.
They're all so selfless and hardworking, and what's amazing, it's a small team, and they do so much. And you would think, oh my gosh, it's a handful of people. How are they able to accomplish all this? But again, it feels great knowing that we're supporting a group like that they spend the whole year long focused around making Christmas special for military families. And so, like the food drive, we'll have kind of 2 designated areas in the lobby where you can drop off toys, books, games, or like non-perishable foods. In return for supporting, we do a $2 off admission for the museum.
Fabulous.
Or a $15% off of a membership if you sign up when you donate to one of the drives.
And speaking of gifts for the holiday, okay, if you gave me a membership where I got to walk through that museum by myself, every Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock, I'm making this up, and I got 2 hours to go back in time, you'd be my best friend.
Absolutely.
Memberships are key, aren't they? They're lovely, and they're so educational. Do you still have the little simulator down there?
We do.
My favorite thing.
Yes. I know, you'll have to
I'll have to come and play on that again.
Yes.
Let's talk about in this last minute and a half here, what's on the horizon for 2024? Because I probably won't have you back on the couch before the holidays end.
Right. Yeah, so the biggest thing that's happening next year, I mean, as you know, we've got stuff going on all the time, but we are gearing up for a new exhibit in March, and it's under wraps right now. I can't talk about it, but it's going to be really excited. We're doing the whole top floor for this exhibit, which is unique. We haven't done that before.
Wow.
So it's going to be like 40 cars up there, and it's going to be very immersive. The marketing and promotion is going to come out for that kind of like the first week of January. So that's what we're kind of telling everyone to kind of keep an eye out for, and we'll start teasing it out. So that's Corvette and Porsche are up there right now. So you got a little bit of time, but those are going to move out, and we're going to bring in something really special after that. So
my interim producer Cheryl is listening. We're going to get you back on the couch to time with that March reveal. But what an even better way to give a gift and say, and in March there's a big surprise for you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Perfect timing.
Anything else our audience should know about before we have to say goodbye?
You know, just the fact that we've got stuff going on all the time,
Yes.
and you know, you mentioned membership, and there's so many benefits to having a membership at the museum. And like you said, it's a great gift, and it's something. I was talking to a friend last night. You know, it's kind of one of those things that like you give it, and people are like, "Oh, I never thought of that."
Exactly.
And then they have, you know, we kind of joke, you have like 365 gifts in one because
You
you can
do.
go as many times as you want during the year. So we, you know, encourage people to look at our membership opportunities and come hang out with us at the museum.
Absolutely. Once you get that membership, walk inside and say, "Where's Jake?"
Yes.
And Jake will
Ask for
come
me.
down and show
I'll
you
come
around.
down.
Jake, thank you for all that you and your team do. You step up and just meet Tacoma where it is all the time. And it's a very unique museum, and it may not at first appeal to everybody, but once you get inside, I would bet my paycheck that you find something you love inside that museum.
Absolutely.
So thank you so
Thank
very
you.
much.
It's always a pleasure.
Happy holidays.
Yes, thank you so much.
When we come back, we're going to make Scott over there behind the poinsettias tell us all about how we keep these beautiful plants alive. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.